understand that this is hard for the community. Whenever there's a new disease, there's a lot of concern because there's a lot of things that we don't know. But we have a lot of information out there, and we've been working really, really hard to try to share that information, and we are here for you. As Mr. Chairman said, our website has a lot of information. It's linked to other websites such as CDC and CDPH, which is the state health department. They've issued a lot of guidance with regard to things like schools and mass gatherings, and that is what we are using to make our decisions. As you're aware, we had 2 cases reported. They are considered presumptively positive, and as Chairman Plancarte said, that's because it has to go to the CDC for confirmation. However, because they are presumptively positive, we are still acting as if they are confirmed because we have confidence in the public health lab where the tests were run. I want to make it clear that these 2 cases are travel-associated cases. Both of these people, a husband and wife, traveled from Florida where they got exposed and became infected and then unfortunately became ill. They then returned here to Imperial County. Fortunately, they sought medical care. They were identified as potentially having been exposed, and the medical providers asked the health department to make testing available for them, and we did, and that's why we have the test results. But again, it's really important that everyone understand that these cases were travel related. They were not exposed here in Imperial County. There is not at this time any evidence that we have community spread of COVID-19, and that's very important because that will guide decisions with regard to what interventions should take place. As I noted, they did put out guidance last night from the state health department with regard to mass gatherings, and in general what they have recommended is through the end of March that all gatherings over 250 people should be canceled. And we did just receive word that the air show is going to be canceling this weekend. I do think it's important to understand that it's not just large gatherings. For people who are high risk, which would be people over the age of 60 or people who have health conditions that increase the risk of having severe COVID-19, they want them to limit themselves to gatherings of less than 10 people. Obviously that's quite difficult, and when you take into account that most mass gatherings will have people over the age of 60 or people that do have health conditions, in actuality, from a practical point of view, we're going to be recommending that most gatherings, even those with more than 10 people, should hopefully either reschedule or look for alternative mechanisms such as online or Skype or other meetings that don't require face-to-face interactions. In addition to mass gatherings, the state has put out guidance to schools, and that includes colleges and universities. I'm sure many of you have heard that many of the colleges and universities across the state have chosen to close temporarily just to be on the safe side. We have not made a specific decision in Imperial County yet with regard to closing schools because, as I said, we do not have evidence of community transmission. But my staff and I will be working closely with the officials at the schools and looking at what's going on to make decisions. Our utmost concern is the safety of the residents of this county, including our children, but also their parents, the staff, and all of the rest of the members of our community. Thank you very much.
66. Actress Dana Delaney is 64. Adam Clayton of U2 is 60. Actress Annabeth Gish is 49. Actress Tracy Wells, 49. Actor Danny Masterson is 44. And let's see, actor Noel Fisher is 36. Actor Emil Hirsch is 35. Okay, those would be our big shot birthdays. We do have local birthdays to celebrate as well.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there. We are broadcasters. Visit wearebroadcasters.com or text radio to 52886 to learn more. Furnished by NAB and this station.
We're celebrating our KXO birthdays. Happy birthday, Angeli Colette Leeds, Diana Esparza, Gregory Garcia, Adrian Castellanos, John Chavez, Marco Flores, Ivan Mata, Henry Dodge, Diana Martinez, Joel Jacklich, Julian Ochoa, Leila Daniel, Luis Moreno, Michelle Valencia, Mike Wallstrom, Reagan Shields, Robert Gudino, Rod Palma, Sofia Moreno, Steve Yates, Stephen Parsons, Susie Carrillo, Yolanda Aguilar. Happy birthday from KXO. Yeah. Okay, those are the Friday the 13th birthdays. It's not always a Friday, but it's always the 13th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hadn't looked at it that way, but yeah, it's always the 13th.
Yes.
Thank God it's not Friday the 13th every day.
Yeah, okay. What's going on today? Well, today is Good Samaritan Day. We don't have any names, but, you know Highway 78 and Milpitas Wash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, every time it rains, Milpitas Wash floods out Highway 78?
That's an understatement.
Yes. Well, last night, Milpitas Wash was running strong. Several cars got swept off the roadway, including one little tiny bitty car with people in it that got swept off. And Good Samaritans were able to get the people out of the car.
All right. Some local people, or?
I have no information as to who they are. So, anyway, nobody injured.
That's good.
Somebody's shaken up pretty good, but
they'll recover.
Yeah, and you know, most people, especially if you're in the valley, you know, hey, floods, you know, flash floods, when we put out those warnings from the National Weather Service, pretty much they're going to happen.
You can pretty much take that to the bank, is what you're saying, yeah?
Okay.
But that's not, you know, if we think about it, though, a lot of times they'll say 90% chance of rain, and it doesn't. And then they'll say 10%, and the sky opens, and a gusher.
Yeah.
A gusher.
It's all a guessing game.
At best.
Yes. Anyway, today, by the way, is Jewel Day.
As in the singer?
I don't know. It could be, but it's Jewel Day. Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
Hey, you know, I think we can go with that.
It's one jewel.
Yeah.
Of a day.
And, well, I think we mentioned before, Paul Hogan is back in a new movie as Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah. Is he really? He's coming back for a sequel?
Yeah, they've shot a sequel, and I understand Hogan looks like he's had a lot of plastic surgery.
That 70-mile-an-hour face look.
Yeah, there was a time when, for Crocodile Dundee, the words "going under the knife" had a very different meaning.
Yes.
Yeah. But
yes.
Anyway, are you superstitious? It's Friday the 13th.
No, I'm not. I don't worry about ladders or that kind of thing.
No.
not at all.
Nope, not a big deal. Okay. We've got news if you're ready.
We've got some news, kind of, ringing out the stories a little bit. No pun intended.
Yeah, well, they're a bit damp.
Damp is right.
Okay, and by the way, the coffee today, it's a delightful Italian roast you might enjoy.
An Italian roast. Huh?
Yes.
I didn't know Italy was famous for coffee.
I think they're famous for roasting it their way.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yes, with a little bit of garlic and some basil and oregano.
Yeah, a little bit of tomato paste.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, it's time for World and California News headlines brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning. They are your year-round comfort specialists.
CBS News update, the Masters Tournament, the latest event casualty to come out of the coronavirus outbreak. Organizers have just announced it's been postponed indefinitely. Wall Street is up sharply this morning. The Dow up more than 800 points. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says in the big picture,
The question now is whether or not the economy is going to fall into a recession, and if so, how deep it would be. Economists have slashed their growth for 2020. Most of them are anticipating zero growth for the year.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says they're close to a deal for a coronavirus aid package.
It's about paid sick leave, it's about family medical leave, it's about unemployment insurance.
Point man Dr. Anthony Fauci says more testing is coming.
What we really need is to get the test available in venues that people could easily access. That has not been the case. Looking forward, it is very likely we will have that within the next week or so.
CBS News Update, I'm Peter King.
Whatever the weather brings this summer, you can rely on a York Affinity Premium Comfort System to keep your home cool and comfortable. Our new Affinity systems are smarter, more connected, and more efficient than ever before, and cut your energy costs by as much as 50%. Call Lock Air Conditioning, your local York dealer, at 760-353-4501. That's 353-4501 to schedule a free evaluation of your system and learn how you can move up to a new level of comfort and efficiency this season. Call now and ask about our 10-year extended labor warranty. Contractor's license 696216.
California headline news. Governor Gavin Newsom expressing frustration with the testing process for the COVID-19 virus, saying the state has contracted with Quest Labs to help.
To the extent there are backlogs in certain local labs because they don't have all the components, we have already engaged Quest to then begin to test those backlogged kits.
Newsom saying many of the test kits from the federal government lack necessary chemical components which are needed to run tests for coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Therefore, the state has to rely on private labs to run the tests. Schools taking action. San Francisco closing its elementary schools for 3 weeks starting Monday.
All school buildings, activities for students, including school day instruction and extracurricular activities, child care, before and after school services, health services, enrichment are canceled.
Superintendent Dr. Vincent Matthews, other districts across the state doing the same for differing periods of time. Rain in Southern California again. Jeff Scott, California News.
World and California News headlines brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning. For all your air conditioning and sheet metal needs, call Lock Air Conditioning today.
You're home after a long day, preparing dinner when...
Ew! What's that? It smells like rotten eggs.
That might be a natural gas leak.
It can't be. We don't have any natural gas appliances.
Even if you don't use natural gas, that rotten egg odor could be a sign of a leak in your neighborhood. Because gas lines can be buried anywhere.
Shut up.
No, speak up. If you ever suspect a leak, leave immediately and call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Thanks, deep voice narrator.
You're very welcome.
Capital One has a fresh take on banking. Now you can open a new savings account in about 5 minutes and earn 5 times the national average. Banking with Capital One means 5 times the savings towards your dream honeymoon, or 5 times the savings towards your family's ultimate vacation. Even 5 times the savings toward just feeling good about saving. It's time to make your savings goals come true. This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
It's page 1 of the local news. Page 1 is a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in Brawley and in El Centro. Quick Lane. Stop into your nearby Quick Lane and tell them you want the works.
Taking a look at the latest in local news for a Friday morning, the NAF Air Show canceled George Gale explains.
The 50th anniversary of the Naval Air Facility El Centro Air Show had been scheduled for Saturday. Press office at the Naval Air Facility confirmed late yesterday morning that the show had been canceled. Earlier in the week, the facility canceled the annual Food and Entertainment Fest. Reason for the cancellation was to stem the spread of COVID-19. For KXL Local News, I'm George Gale.
The Yuma County Sheriff's Office would like to make the public aware of potential scammers related to the coronavirus disease. Scammers may utilize emails, social media, or phone calls about the disease to spread misinformation in order to ask for donations or sell products that purport to prevent coronavirus, including things that you can do. Do not click on any links from unknown sources on your computer. This might download a virus on your phone or your computer. Make sure to research any organization or charity asking for donations for victims of coronavirus. Be on the lookout for any emails claiming to be from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention or experts purporting to have information about the disease. KXO News Time 7:43.
It's Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers for your service needs. Whether it's a lube job, oil and filter change, brake job, battery or wheel balance and alignment, Quick Lane can handle it. And Quick Lane services all makes and all models. Oh, and by the way, you never need an appointment. Tires, all the best brands at the best price. Guaranteed. See your Quick Lane service advisor for details. Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in the Brawley Auto Plaza, Highway 86 and Julia Drive, and on Imperial Avenue in El Centro, right next to Food for Less.
Continuing with more local news, a new coronavirus policy for the state. George Gale explains.
It could affect events across the state. Governor Gavin Newsom announced the policy change. He said California public health officials have issued an updated policy on gatherings to protect public health and slow the spread of COVID-19. The state's public health experts have determined that gatherings should be postponed or canceled across the state until at least the end of March. They say non-essential gatherings must be limited to no more than 250 people, while smaller events can proceed only if the organizers can implement social distancing of 6 feet per person. Gatherings of individuals who are at higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19 should be limited to no more than 10 people, while also following the social distancing guidelines. For KXL Local News, I'm George Gale.
And news from the Imperial Valley College on a board action. And that is a consideration today at a special meeting and adoption of a resolution declaring emergency conditions at Imperial Valley College as a result of the threat of the coronavirus. And that would be and granting the superintendent president emergency authority. That concludes this edition of Local News. Page 2 coming up.
Page 1 of the Local News, a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in Brawley and El Centro. Quick Lane, they service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment. We are counting down to Easter, and I have a great idea. When it comes to Easter candy, head to the Peanut Patch in Yuma. The Peanut Patch is open Monday through Saturday, and they carry many homemade chocolates. They also make their own fresh English toffee, plain or covered in milk chocolate. Pecan turtles made from a special recipe from scratch. They've got it all at the Peanut Patch in Yuma. Well, you're going to find a beautiful store, great people that are smiling and are going to help you. And don't forget, fudge? Oh, boy, do they have fudge. 80-plus handmade melt-in-your-mouth flavors of fudge. Check out the Peanut Patch in Yuma. You can Google the Peanut Patch in Yuma and visit them, thepeanutpatch.com. Visit the Peanut Patch in Yuma and get ready for Easter. Page 2 of the local news and weather, brought to you by David H. West Insurance Services. See David or Jose for life insurance, health insurance, or retirement planning.
Continuing with more local news, an update from Carroll Buckley on the problem of road conditions.
Well, a lot of rain over a 3-day period and caused flooding of county roads. To include Ogilvy Road, it remains closed. And last night, continuing through the night into the morning, road closures on Dunaway between Evan Hughes and Dunaway Road. The Huff and Boley roads closed. McDonald at Weast Road closed. Roads closed up in the north end of the valley near Thermal, Bering Boulevard and Treadwell Boulevard. McConnell and Harris, McConnell closed between Keystone and Harris. We mentioned flooding on Highway 78, swept away a couple of vehicles. Our understanding is no significant injuries from any of that. But again, take seriously flash flood warnings when they are put out.
The Imperial Irrigation District Board of Directors, during its regular meeting earlier this week on Tuesday, unanimously opposed a recently introduced legislation, Assembly Bill 2629, by Assembly Member Chad Mays, 42nd Assembly District. If enacted, the legislation would require the California Energy Commission to produce a report to the legislator that recommends options for the district's continued electrical service to its customers in Coachella Valley. The rights to provide those same customers with electrical service were part of a broader 99-year compromise agreement reached between local governments, IID, and the Coachella Valley Water District in 1934. That agreement will reach its full term in 2033. The introduction of AB 2629 is yet another attempt to bypass a locally driven process in favor of a top-down approach from a state agency and raises serious concerns for the district, said Board President Norma Sierra Galinto. A woman is rescued. A great story. George Gale explains.
It happened late last week. Border Patrol agents were working about 8 miles west of the Kxo downtown port of entry when they heard screams for help. They were coming from the All-American Canal. Agents arrived at the scene to find a woman having trouble in the canal. Agents deployed a water flotation device and were able to pull the woman to safety. 2 men who were also in the canal were able to swim to safety themselves. All 3 were determined to be Mexican nationals in the U.S. illegally. They were taken into custody and processed for deportation. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
We'll be back with a look at the weather.
David H. West Insurance has been helping residents in Imperial Valley for many years with their insurance needs. David, Jose, and staff are trained professionals who can help you make the right decision with your insurance coverage, from health, Medicare, and most importantly, a life insurance plan. How much life insurance do you need and what's your monthly cost? We'll call David H. West Insurance today to make an appointment and get a free quote on a life insurance plan that's right for you and your family at 760-352-3411. That's 352-3411.
Here's Carol Buckley with the weather update.
The National Weather Service says that slow-moving and wet storm system is exiting to the east today, but there may be some lingering showers into tonight. Isolated afternoon thunderstorms are also possible. After a brief dry period this weekend, another colder but not as wet storm system is expected toward the middle of next week. 67 our high yesterday, 56 our low. A trace of precipitation overnight, nearly a half-inch recorded during the period of the storm. Mostly sunny today with a high near 72. Southwest wind about 10 miles an hour, a 20% chance of showers after 11 a.m. Partly cloudy tonight with a low around 51. West-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 75. East-southeast wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunday will be mostly sunny with a high near 76. West-northwest wind about 5 miles per hour. We have 53 degrees downtown El Centro, 82% relative humidity, clear skies, wind out of the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your border wait, about 10 minutes downtown, no waiting sentry, 15 minutes at the pedestrian gate. Eastport, a 40-minute wait, and no waiting sentry, 30 minutes at the ready lane. And at Andrade, well, right now, it is about a 30-minute wait. Page 2 of the local news brought to you this morning by David H. West Insurance Services. See David or Jose for health insurance plans and Medicare supplemental coverage. David H. West Insurance Services.
Dad, they're hungry.
Siri, restaurants nearby.
Here are some options.
I want some chipotle fries.
And I want an Imperial thick burger.
But I want a salad.
Okay, I just want a juicy burger and an ice cold beer. And I don't want to miss the game.
Everyone quiet, please. I have the place. Burgers and beer. Great food. Ice cold beer, and you can watch your favorite game.
Burgers and Beer has something delicious for everyone. Burgers and Beer. The best burgers in town.
You're welcome.
It's sports time. What's left of it, brought to you by the Imperial Hardware Company Do-It Centers in El Centro, Holtville, and Brawley. Major League Baseball has canceled the rest of spring training and will delay the start of the regular season. Also, the NBA on hiatus. They have suspended their season. And the NCAA has canceled the NCAA men's basketball tournament, March Madness. So, the Masters golf tournament canceled, postponed, okay? That's the way it goes. And all sorts of other things. Who's crying loudest? The sports books. Yeah, they're going to have to start taking bets on New Zealand cricket if they're going to stay alive.
Planning a home improvement project? Let your friends at Imperial Hardware Company lend a hand. Our Do-It Centers provide the sweet spot between convenience and selection, combining the value and variety of a big box with the ease of visiting a neighborhood market. Our helpful and courteous staff will get you outfitted for any task in no time. Imperial Hardware Company is locally owned and family operated, proudly serving this community for over a century. We carry only the best products and top name brands. Visit us in Brawley, El Centro, and Holtville to find what you need when you need it. Get it done with a little help from Imperial Hardware Company. Plumbing emergency? Clogs, leaks, and breaks are never planned. We stock a giant selection of fixtures and fittings to help solve your problem.
Well, in other sports news, will the NFL draft take place? We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of the NFL, Tennessee has released 2 veterans ahead of free agency. Pass rusher Cameron Wake and running back Deion Lewis. They're out of there. That's it for Sports Time, brought to you by the Imperial Hardware Do-It Centers in Brawley, Holtville, and El Centro. Thank you for choosing Imperial Printers Rocket Copy. In today's highly competitive business climate, your company's image is important. The printed materials your company uses conveys a major part of that image. Our graphic designers have the talent and expertise to create a lasting impression for your business. Imperial Printers Rocket Copy offers virtually any type of business solution to meet your needs. From business cards and stationery to computer forms, full-color brochures, and posters. Let our excellent service and attention to detail provide the best impression for you. Locally owned and operated, Imperial Printers Rocket Copy has locations near you at 430 West Main Street and 100 South 11th Street in El Centro and 184 South Plaza in Brawley. Financial news and the weather brought to you by the Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation. It's all here. The stock market is going crazy again. National Elevator was down. Consolidated Helium up. United Paper was stationary. Pencils lost a few points. Diapers remained unchanged. Universal Toilet Paper touched a new bottom. Anyway. Stocks opened sharply higher today, but remained on track for a brutal week of losses that saw major indexes tumble into a bear market on uncertainty over the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The market, well, on early trading, showing some green across the board. Nowhere near enough to make up for the earlier losses. The Dow Jones Industrial at 21.7, the S&P 500 at 2,552, NASDAQ at 7,400. Gold still dropping, down $15.20 an ounce.
At IVEDC, our mission is to help grow the Imperial Valley economy by aggressively marketing the valley to attract industries that create jobs and raise the local standard of living. We have had considerable success with the renewable energy industry, and due to these efforts, local businesses have benefited and jobs have been created. The Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation is continuing our efforts to grow the local economy with new businesses and new jobs. That means a better way of life for our valley.
It will be mostly sunny today with a high near 72, southwest wind about 10 miles an hour. There is a slight chance of a shower after 11 a.m. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 51, west-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 75, east-southeast wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. It'll be mostly sunny on Sunday with a high near 76, west-northwest wind about 5 miles per hour. 53 degrees, skies are clear. Financial news and weather brought to you by the Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation. It's all here.
Built Ford Tough means built to last. That's why Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks in America, and they have been for 43 years straight. It's not hard to see why. Ford F-150 has best-in-class payload, tons of smart tech, and a truckload of other claims to fame. Drive it like a Ford. Drive it today. Drive it home. Now get F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months. That's no interest for 6 years on the legendary F-150. Only at your Imperial Valley Ford dealers. Learn more at buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2019 calendar year total sales, max payload on F-150 XL regular cab 8-foot box 5.0 liter 4x2 heavy duty payload package. Classes full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVWR. See label on door jamb for carrying capacity of a specific vehicle. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 0 for 72 months at $13.89 per month per thousand finance regardless of down payment. Excludes Raptor. Offer ends 3/31/2020. See dealer for qualifications and complete details.
The best oldies on the radio. KXO El Centro, the Imperial Valley's local news source.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Capital One Bank.
I'm Steve Kathan. A top Trump administration official says talks on a coronavirus aid package are going well and an agreement is close. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The package requires businesses to provide paid sick days for those diagnosed or quarantined, with firms to be reimbursed by the government through tax credits. It bolsters safety net programs like unemployment benefits, food stamps, and free school lunches. And it provides for free coronavirus testing for everyone, including the uninsured. Business interests have balked at requirements for sick days, but Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says he's certain Republicans will back a compromise proposal.
The Trump administration's awarding more than $1 million to 2 companies to develop rapid tests for the virus. With results back within an hour, the FDA's given the okay for a faster coronavirus test made by a Swiss company. On Twitter this morning, President Trump promised testing on a large scale soon. On CBS This Morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci says more tests will be available over the next week.
Obviously,
We want to and will have considerably more testing in the future. But you don't wait for testing to do the mitigation. You can do it right now.
He says school closings and event postponements are an appropriate approach. The Masters Golf Tournament in Augusta, Georgia has been postponed. Other PGA events leading up to it have been too. Financial markets are bouncing back some from yesterday's epic sell-off. Right now, the Dow is up a little over 500 points. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger on the early outlook for the economy.
Economists have slashed their growth for 2020. Most of them are anticipating zero growth for the year. Some think we will tip into a brief recession. But at this point, we don't know. The economic data is not there to support any of these conclusions yet.
It seems people are staying home if they can to avoid getting sick. Transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve says a lot of buses and trains are virtually empty.
Cities view mass transit in particular as essential. It links people to jobs and services. Just this morning, New York's MTA tells CBS it has no plans to suspend or reduce service at this time, but acknowledges this is a rapidly evolving situation.
One of the mystery countries in the coronavirus pandemic has been North Korea. The nation has not reported any cases, but the commander of U.S. forces in South Korea, General Robert Abrams, says there's evidence it may have interrupted military training.
As one example, they didn't fly an airplane for 24 days. So they're back to flying the training sorties.
Wall Street, again, the Dow is up today. The Dow is up 584. This is CBS News.
Why settle for average? With Capital One, you can open an account with a savings rate 5 times the national average. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet? Capital One N.A., member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Let's talk credit card debt for a minute. If you feel you're carrying too much of it, you're not alone. The average household in the U.S. carries over $8,000 in credit card debt. Ready for some good news? With a cash-out refinance from Quicken Loans, you can quickly and easily put some of the equity in your home to good use by paying off a lot of that high-interest credit card debt. A great way to take cash out is with our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%. APR 4.23%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN to learn how taking cash out with a 30-year fixed mortgage might be the right solution for you. And for a record 10 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rates subject to change. Pay 2% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
In one state, it's the end of an era for something whose era ended long ago.
In a dot and a dash, the telegraph era has ended here. Florida lawmakers approving a bill that removes an entire chapter of state law that regulates the telegraph industry, including a $50 fine for not delivering a message. Telegraphy, of course, was a big deal long before instant messages, social media, and even the telephone. But lawmakers say it's been 75 years since Florida courts have had to decide a case involving the telegraph industry. Who knew? Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
New York's Attorney General is demanding that conspiracy monger Alex Jones stop pushing phony coronavirus treatments. Jones is accused of having toothpaste, dietary supplements, creams, and other products on his website that he says can prevent and cure COVID-19. Similar orders have gone out to others. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
And now, more of the best oldies on the radio.
I have no words for it. I'm kind of shocked right now, actually.
With Carroll Buckley.
Not that I like it, but I do.
AM 1230 KXO. 1230 KXO.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Hey, let me call you back, man.
Hey man, how's it going?
Hi, so I have this stain and I heard you're the guy.
Say no more. Valley Dry Cleaning's got you covered. There you go, man.
Cool, man. Hey, man, you got it out. What'd you guys do?
Let's just say we've got a secret weapon.
Thanks, man.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Barney.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Bonjour.
Hi. How you doing there? Yellow. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yo, yo. Hello. 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 Hello.
This is an ugly candy bar, Peter Paul's almond cluster. It bulges from the way they stuff those almonds and crunchy stuff inside. It's so ugly, in fact, we're not going to show it to you. But don't go away, we're going to show you something. Isn't that something? Believe me, it's better than looking at our candy bar. Funny thing, ugly as it is, almond cluster tastes just beautiful. Why people who make such a crunchy, chocolatey candy can't fix the way it looks? I don't know, maybe we should be on the radio or something, skywriting.